Hi, glad you could join us. I'm Annette Sherman. This is Community. We've got a very special program for you today, and it's about what's happening with our library system. Well, a lot of you are not interested, and you're going to go to the remote control and you're going to change the program, but I promise you that you'll be fascinated with the information we have for you because it's a special project. It's a project called One Book, One Community. Hang in there, trust me on this one. I want to read something about library that was in some of the information that I received, and it talked about a library in the middle of a community. It's a cross between an emergency exit, a life raft, a festival. They are cathedrals of the mind, hospitals of the soul, theme parks of the imagination. On a cold, rainy island, they are the only sheltered public spaces where you're not a consumer, but a citizen instead. There was another phrase, there was another very short piece of, I thought, interesting information, a little poetry about a library. A library is not a luxury, but one of the necessities of life. And that was Henry Ward Beecher who said that. And I believe that as well, very, very strongly. It is a necessity for more people than we know, because there's so much in library today, so much. Used to be just books, but now there are countless other things. The project that I'm talking about today, that we're talking about today, I'm going to introduce my guests very shortly. It's called One Book, One Community. Let me introduce my guests. First, we have Ellen, India. Now, I never asked you up to now, India, do you come from India?
No, I don't.
Where did that name come from?
It was my grandmother's first name.
Oh, how lovely. So you just adopted it as your last name?
It was my middle name, and now it's my last. Yeah.
Well, it gets put out as the next step. I mean, you know, no. And what is your job, Ellen?
I'm the Adult Services Coordinator for the Sarasota County Public Library System.
Okay, that leaves a lot to question about adult services, and we're not going to get over the rough edges. Tell me what adult services might include.
It's just working with staff to look at everything that involves resources, programming for any of our patrons, the public, for ages 18 and up.
Okay, that would be the adult segment.
Right.
Okay. We're going to get back to One Book, One Community in a moment. Julia Hoffman. Okay. Juliet, your job.
Yes, I am the Special Events and Programming Manager for the 2017 World Rowing Championships.
Okay. What have you got to do with library?
So with the World Rowing Championships, we have an entire year of community programming established starting in September of 2016 through our event, which is September of 2017. What our goal is to really engage the community and to use our platform to market and promote and partner with already existing fabulous organizations. One Book, One Community, and Sarasota County Public Library System happens to be one of our partners in this endeavor.
Okay, and the book that was chosen, Ellen, how does that happen? How does that book get chosen?
Well, we have a selection committee, and we try to find a book that we think the whole community will be involved with, that will appeal to a lot of ages, men and women, and that everybody will want to discuss and get involved with programming.
Is it this committee? Now, are they given like 20 books, and of the 20 books, pick one?
Yes, the committee has about 25 members, the selection committee, and they each come with their own ideas, and we narrow it down gradually to the one that we feel is the most deserving of that title, and it really brings the community together.
Brings the community together, but apparently you have had amazing kind of luck, and it's the only thing I can call it, because many of these books have been made into movies that you chose. Okay, this book is called The Boys in the Boat. And that is the title of the book, and I am promised that it is a fabulous read. And I intend to read it as soon as we finish the program. I'm starting to read this book. What is it about? Let's talk about what it's about, Julia.
So what The Boys in the Boat book is about is the 1936 Olympic rowing team. They rowed in an 8-shell, and their triumph and their trials to win gold in the Olympics in Germany.
1930 what? 1936.
Yes.
Okay. Rowing, so very similar. The only difference is that there were other things that had to do with German participants that we fought very strongly to beat the German participants. They weren't just German. They were Nazis, or avowed Nazis at any rate. And they were the ones that were the big hopefuls in that 1936 rowing championship, and expected to win, to annihilate the other teams. But for these boys in a boat, because these boys in a boat were a rowing team, and they were American, and they won. How great a story is that? Just the basic storyline. And that's what it's about. Okay. Ellen, come with me on helping tell everybody. Where can they get copies of this book? I didn't know.
Well, of course, we have plenty of them in the library.
Did she say plenty of them?
Plenty of them.
Well, you haven't checked with them lately, but they're gonna diminish. But get there, okay.
And of course, you can find it in bookstores. And the great thing, like you said, is we didn't just pick a book about rowing. This is a great book, and it appeals to all ages. It appeals to men and women. It's got incredible stories in there, and we really think everybody will enjoy reading it together as a family.
You know the ending, but that's beside the point. How they did it, what their feeling was, who the people were, all the aspects that make a story worthwhile. And it is not only in the adult edition, which obviously you care about, but you care about the other one too, but this is the young people's edition. For what, how old?
That Boys in the Boat Young Readers adaptation, they suggest for ages 10 and up, the equivalent of grades 5 through 9.
Okay, either one. Public library, needless to say, there's no cost, there's no charge. If you have a library card, and if you don't have a library card, get there. They really don't charge you anything. They just want you to participate and want you to use the library. And you know what I love? I love to go there on a Saturday morning and see all those little kids. I could just eat them up. Or just adorable. And they're starting off, and they're going to be readers all their life. Boys in a Boat. The Boat. The Boat, Boys in the Boat. And you can get a copy for kids or a copy for adults at your public library. Or you could go to a bookstore and buy one. Or you read it, then you buy one, whatever. Okay, now let's get to one of the aspects that I had a difficult time believing when you told me about it in our pre-interview. How many people are coming to this event?
So for the 2017 World Rowing Championships, it's beginning on September 23rd of 2017 and going through October 1st. So over that 9-day period, we are projecting around 40,000 spectators to be in the Sarasota, Bradenton area, which is incredibly exciting. In addition to the spectators, there's a $25 million economic impact that this community will be a part of, which is unbelievable. 1,700 athletes will be coming, representing over 60 countries. So it's exciting things that are coming up.
I'm in a daze now. They obviously have been planning this for a long time.
Correct.
People like yourself have been arranging all these things. Who makes the hotel reservations?
We have a whole separate housing company that is handling all of the 42,000 room nights that we have booked between Sarasota and Bradenton.
And they're going to bring family, I'm sure,
Oh,
because
yes,
the
they
kids,
will.
are, particularly the boys, but today girls and boys enjoy
Yes.
the same kind of sports and activities. And we're going to have one heck of an event. And we better get ready because there's going to be a lot of them, I have a feeling.
Yes.
And I don't believe those statistics.
It's amazing. It's amazing, Annette. And
How many days is this going to?
9 days.
9 days.
9 days.
And now they're going to go and watch the rowing events.
Correct.
How many countries are participating?
Over 60, yes. We are, in a sense, we are representing the United States of America. Nathan Benderson Park is the only grade A FISA required course in the United States. So right here in our backyard of Sarasota Bradenton is the only place in the United States that can host an event of this caliber. Similar to the Boys in the Boat, where they were representing the United States, we as a community are representing the United States in the world of rowing come 2017.
Well, having lived here for what, 40 some odd years, 45 years, and never seen anything like that, never anticipated seeing anything like that. We've had some big events here, and that's marvelous, but I cannot, it's circling around in my mind, but I just can't, 60,000 people.
40,000.
Oh,
yes.
oh, I see, I knew I was exaggerating.
We're going to hope for 60. We'll hope for 60.
Okay, and where are they going to, they're not all going to get the books, to read the books, because they want to see the one coming up. They don't want to read necessarily about the one in 1936. But you can get it. Now, what happens subsequent to the, how long does the reading of the books go on?
Well, for One Book, One Community for this year, 2017, we are partnering with the World Rowing Championship groups, the folks there, because obviously we knew the community would be talking about rowing with the championships coming. So we're working with the World Rowing Championship people to bring the author into town. The author will be coming on January 26th.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that during the rowing?
No, January 26th.
Okay.
So that's
Subsequent
the first,
to it.
that's kind of our kickoff with the One Book program this year, is the author coming. The author's going to be working with the World Rowing Championship folks and having a luncheon, and also we're going to have an event in the evening with him. And then after that, February and March and April, we'll have lots of library programs and things going on as well to continue the discussion.
Okay, you do want to, if you can, find out about all of this, and there are wonderful, tell about these, Ellen. They're place marks, but tell about them.
Well, we have these bookmarks, and we have 9 libraries in our library system. So we have 9 different bookmarks, each with a different rowing quote. There's a lot of great things about rowing that you learn. I never knew about rowing. I learned so much. It really is a team sport where everybody has to work together. And that's one of the wonderful lessons you get from the book. And so we have the quotes on the bookmarks that you can collect if you like.
What I know about rowing is that it takes oars. Then after that, I'm stuck. However, for the many, many people, I'm sure, that are not only interested in rowing, but in seeing the event, and perhaps meeting some of the people from these countries.
Yes.
It is an overwhelmingly, I was talking to my 2 guests before we went into the studio to do the program, and I was saying that my son used to participate in chess Olympiads where there were that many countries. People speak all languages. It is fascinating. Of course, we Americans only speak English, but they can speak English as well. So meeting these people and just meeting them at a restaurant or meeting them at a shop or wherever will be fascinating, having so many visitors. And I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be renting their homes to these visitors. Are there people, is there somebody that they should call if they're going to do that? Or?
Yes, if you are interested in renting your home or being a part of the 2017 World Rowing Championships, please visit our website at www.wrch2017.com, or you can send us an email at info@wrch2017.com.
Okay, it's on the screen, and we'll leave it on the screen a little while because there are a lot of people that live fairly close to the venue itself, and either are not going to be using their home or have a large enough home, so they'd be delighted to have some of these athletes there and some of the people who are training them and some of them from various different countries, particularly if they speak the language, and even if they don't, the visitor probably speaks English. Well, it's amazing. The One Book, One Community is an amazing event, and it will, while it's going on, I'm sure overshadow the One Book, One Community, because it's going to overshadow everything that's happening in our community when that is happening. They will be our honored guests. And tell me again, and everybody, it's going to go on from when to when?
September 23rd through October 1st.
September, October. So just really September, October, which is not so terrible to have, even if we had guests we didn't like, to have them visit us. It's going to be an amazing economic feat as well.
Correct, yes, very much so.
I can imagine all of the shopping that they're going to do. They're going to go into the university town center
Yes.
and take home their gifts to their family and friends from America. And gosh, it's mind-boggling. I still can't get it out of my head.
It is.
How long has your office been operative?
So we've been in existence for a little over a year. We are what is considered a host committee, and similar to what you'd see at a Super Bowl or men's Final Four, something of that nature, a large sporting event, there's a group of people that are put together to really put together the event. But outside of that, we have what's called a local organizing committee comprised of roughly 125 community members from both Sarasota and Manatee County that are helping us formulate
Volunteers.
Correct. Yes, they are volunteers. Some of them work for the county. Others do not. All of them are volunteering their time and efforts to make this the most successful sporting event in this area and to really make history. And we wouldn't be able to do that without the community support that we've received from groups such as the Sarasota County Public Library System and our other community partners as well.
Am I correct in remembering that you said we are the only time that this has happened in this country?
This is not the only time that that's happened. The last time that the World Rowing Championships was in the United States was 23 years ago in Indianapolis.
And then, of course, this kind of thing years and years ago.
Correct, yes.
But that was that in the United States?
No, that was not. That was in Germany. So the World Rowing Championships takes place every year outside of an Olympic year. So in 2016, the World Rowing Championships, if you will, was in Rio as part of the Olympics. So now in 2017, it'll be in our own backyard.
How many people are working in your organization?
We have 10 staff that's full-time in the office, and we have about 5 to 8 that are working remotely that will come and live in Sarasota closer to the championship time.
Have you started working with this organization just for this event?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, our host committee, the World Rowing Championships, is working strictly on this event.
And you're working strictly on this event. Now, when this event is over, will there be another event, or will there be a vacation for you?
Well, the community, we've accepted, the Sarasota Bradenton area has accepted the 2018 Masters Regatta. As for our staff, we are all on contract through November of 2017, so it's kind of up in the air as to what our plans are moving forward. But it's
What did
very
you do
exciting
before
for this
this?
area. I actually recently graduated from Bowling Green State University in May, and 4 days after I graduated, I moved down from Cleveland, Ohio to sunny Sarasota.
Good move.
Oh, it was great.
Your background, Ellen, is very interesting. Give us a quickie, because we don't have much time.
Yeah, I worked for 15 years with animals, 10 years at Zoo Atlanta, and I got to travel to Indonesia, make documentaries, do all kinds
What did
of
you do with these animals?
fun stuff. Well, I did educational programming. I took care of them.
Taught them to read and write?
I did.
No,
I could.
you didn't.
No, I did a lot of conservation education work, and I really love that. I do miss the animals.
Conservation education. I know what the two words mean, but what do they mean in relation to animals? And
Well,
put
when
together?
people came to the zoo, you'd have an animal, and you would talk to them about the animal, and you would teach them about the animal, so they would learn something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The time situation at this point, Lucy, is what? You're going to give it to me, okay. You say you worked with them and you taught these animals. Do you have a background in working with?
Well, my background is in psychology, and in psychology you spend a lot of time learning about animal behavior, and that's how I became interested.
So you had to psychoanalyze these animals?
Actually, what's funny is that I work in the education department, and I was in charge of the educational animal library. So that was my beginning with libraries, because I had to make sure you could check the animal out and check it back in properly.
Check the animal out?
For your educational program, yes.
Oh, that sounds like the first time that somebody thought of that, letting you check the animal out for my program.
Right, right. We had docents, you know,
Is that organization still in
Zoo Atlanta
existence?
is still going strong, yes. Doing a.
Okay, can I get a couple of monkeys?
No, they do not make good pets.
No, I wasn't thinking of pets. I was thinking of having them on the air.
Oh, they're always interesting on the air, always, yeah.
Monkeys.
Great apes is what my specialty was, orangutans.
Yes, well, sure, very human. Okay, and it's very human for you to be interested in what we're talking about, as I said you would be. The book is Boys in the Boat. You can get it at your public library. I'm sure they've stocked up on it, or you can go and purchase one, which might be a lovely gift for somebody for birthday, or a young man, or high school, or elementary school. I'm sure at any age, it's a fascinating story. It's a well-written story and has very good reviews. So you can check with the public library and with the branch closest to you and find out about some of the events the library is going to have in conjunction with the boat races that we will have here. The 40,000 people coming in, I can't believe it. However, it will happen. And once it happens, someone's going to get an idea, let's do that again. And that person is going to be jumped on by various other people, punching and hitting and so forth. No, it's not. It's not going to be that bad at all, but we're going to have a very, very different kind of atmosphere in our community.
And we're just excited that we were able to partner together to bring the author here on January 26th. We think people will really enjoy meeting him and talking to him as well.
Is he going to be at the Selby Library?
No, he's going to do a luncheon at Lakewood Ranch.
Correct, at FET Catering and Ballroom on January 26th. And then he is going to make his way down to Venice for a library event in the evening. And tickets and information for that event can also be found at our website, which is on your screen.
Is there you need of volunteers?
Yes, we will be in need of volunteers.
Okay, then the website might be important again. I have a feeling that the timing is not accurate, and I have a feeling that the program is probably, we may be a little over, but if that's their timing, that's their timing. I cannot believe that, but okay. I'm getting cues from my floor manager, and she's telling me we have time, but I doubt it. However, there is the telephone number to call, 893, is that correct? 7396?
5-6.
Is that a 5? 7395?
7396.
7396.
73. Now I'm all messed up.
7356.
7356.
7356. Okay, very, very good. Now, what does one wear when they go to see a boat race of this sort? This is canoeing. Anything you darn please.
Yes, I mean it is September in Florida, so we will be having misters and tents and lots of shade. So dress comfortably.
Is there shelter for the viewers?
Of course,
watching?
yes.
Not
yes.
necessarily, of course, but there is.
We have lots of tents. We're building up Regatta Island at Nathan.
Oh, you're building
Park.
up these things.
Correct. Okay. Yes, we have an entire infrastructure plan in place to ensure that our guests are comfortable and happy and enjoy their time.
What would your volunteers do?
So we are in need of 2,000 volunteers for this event. Yes.
And if there are any extras, I'll take them here for the
Perfect.
program.
You can have them.
No, you don't know yet. They may be fabulous volunteers. I take all 2,000.
So what's unique about our volunteer system is that when you sign up online, you are able to pick your shift. So volunteers are more likely to show up and participate if they sign up for something that they're genuinely interested.
How
I
many?
signed up to volunteer myself,
Yes.
so
What,
She
say
was
that again?
actually
I signed up
first.
to volunteer as well.
You got one volunteer.
so
She
I
works
can,
very
so I can
hard.
make sure I can see it is. I think it'll be fun.
So the volunteers will be working,
Correct.
and the various jobs will be described to them, and they will have quite an experience because
They
they'll
will.
get to know. I know when we were in Germany, actually, the last Olympiad that my son was in, and got to know, we had someone who was our guide, Hartmut, and he spoke better English than I do. It's amazing how many people in this world speak English and how little Americans speak other languages. But we got to know him and his family. We were invited to dinner there. So you get to know these people that you socialize or fraternize with for the event. And it's a wonderful opportunity to volunteer and get out of the mold. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities in our community, and they're wonderful because we can't exist without our volunteers. But this is particularly wonderful because it's so extraordinary. And the first time, you'll be talking about it for the rest of your natural life and be quite boring after a while. However, it's something wonderful to do. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're out of time. We have about a minute. I don't believe it. But we're talking about one book, one community, and the name of the book is Boys in the Boat, and it's written by Daniel James Brown. And do you know anything about Daniel James Brown, Ellen?
He only writes nonfiction, and he comes from Seattle.
That's enough. And he's going to be here
January 26th.
January 26th, and probably talk about the book. And if the library is typical of their events, I love usually the library because there's a lot of socializing, fraternizing with the authors, and they know that's why you're there. Wonderful people. Thank you, Sarah Beth Kalajian, our wonderful head of the libraries here. She constantly is working to make it even better, and the word even has to be there. We're out of time. Thank you, ladies. You're doing a marvelous job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did I tell you? Interesting, huh? See you next time. Bye-bye for now.
The time really flew. We bid you adieu from community. If you want to know why we love it here, so check out Community. Well, it's a who's who, a what's, when, and where show. It's a mover and shakers who care show. Me